Let me start right off the bat here, pun intended, and say that the stupidly long title for this movie is completely misleading in every way. Hello, and welcome to Red Shoe Media with me, Tom Elgie, and today this is my non-spoiler review of Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. It is not Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, it should be called Dawn of Justice: Batman v Superman. I really wish I had the same level of enthusiasm going into this as I had in my thoughts going in video, but I'm afraid that enthusiasm has just dropped now I've actually, seen the movie. So the movie opens in a very intriguing way, and I have to say the first 30 to 40 minutes are actually quite good. I was very surprised. I was watching this thinking, seriously? Because I've heard a lot of hoo-ha, about how mixed this film can be and the reviews and stuff. I have to say it starts really strong. Batman is really cool in it. Ben Affleck, as I said in my last video, Batman played by Ben Affleck, and I got a lot of trouble for that, so Affleck is absolutely outstanding in the role, as I foretold. I knew he'd be great, so that's tick on one of my boxes. And I have to say, I actually quite enjoyed the Superman stuff in this as well. The setup for Superman was really cool. I have to say, on a personal level, Amy Adams really shines in this movie. Like, really shines. She is outstandingly good. It was good to see her do some serious acting, and, she was just really great, especially in that bath scene. I love her in Enchanted, and I loved her in a couple of episodes of The Office she was in, and she was in The Wedding Crashers. She's really good in all those things, but it's good to see her actually, as in Man of Steel, do something really serious and really focused, and I feel like she really lent to that really well, and I hope to see more from her as we go on in other movies. And Clark and Lois's relationship is just beautiful. The way they play that, their chemistry and the relationship is just sensationally beautiful, and it was actually really nice to see, and it's the only romance we were getting in the film, and it was good to see it, and it was really strong, and it was very important for something that happens a lot later in the movie that was strong, and that, as I say, first half an hour couldn't beat their relationship. I'm actually surprised at how much I enjoyed seeing Superman. Like, as I say, Batman was why I went to the film, but I find myself enjoying Superman a lot more than I thought I would. The bit that I do really like, and I think is really strong, and I think is the reason that this film wasn't a complete disaster, Ben Affleck's Batman, he's older, he's wiser, but you can show he is really disturbed by the things he has seen, and his parts in the first half an hour of the film are just absolutely mind-blowingly good, like Ben Affleck running around in the city while the events of Man of Steel are taking place, and I'm really glad I watched that before I went in, because I wouldn't have understood that, but he's running around in Metropolis, like, trying to save he's got his branch of Wayne Enterprises there, and he's trying to save everybody in there, and then boom, they all go, and you're going to see the look in Bruce Wayne's face. It's like the whole world changes for him in that moment, and it's just beautifully rendered, really well done. So really good. I really enjoyed that bit. I was actually really hopeful that the rest of the film would be like that. It's not. But Ben Affleck's a real badass Batman. Like, he's shooting people, he don't even care, he kills people. It's good to see a Batman that will actually do that and take that plunge, because we don't see that enough. Despite all those few good points, I think the good points do outweigh the bad in this film, that's very important, but despite that, I did notice that for the first time ever, I noticed lens flare on my glasses in a cinema. That's when you start to realise maybe I'm not as invested in this film as I should be. I was already out of the movie at that point. There was these dream sequences, and I've heard mixed things about these. Some people love them, some people hate them. I'm more like the latter. I'm not too keen on them. I don't think they were great. I didn't think they were awful, but I don't think they were really cool either. I just thought they were they went on too long. The premise was good, I'll give them that. I got what they were trying to do, and visually they really were stunning. There was really cool moments in it. I just feel like it was Mad Max meets Batman, which was quite intriguing for me. Other flaws in this movie, I'm just going to flash through some now. No pun intended again, that's really bad. The Daily Planet stuff was incredibly boring and wasting time. We had a movie that was 2.5 hours long, and it was just cramming everything together and forcing in all these bits we really didn't want to see. The new Batmobile, I'm not sure if this is a flaw or if I like it or not. I'm still undecided. It's kind of a mix between Val Kilmer or George Clooney, probably not the best example, but Val Kilmer meets The Dark Knight Christian Bale's. And it was cool, it looked cool, it was alright, it didn't do a lot. We didn't really need the Batmobile at all in this film. I feel like that was something they could have saved for a Batman standalone film, because it's not something we really had to see at this point. Lex Luthor is probably my biggest problem with this film. He is a weak villain, and I don't care who you are or how big a Lex Luthor fan you are, I think you'll agree, he is very weak in this film. And I don't understand how someone who's so weird in public, everybody seems to trust and gets on with and has these conversations with and goes round for a quick drink. That sort of thing makes no sense. To me, he reminded me of Jim Carrey's Riddler as opposed to Lex Luthor. But my biggest problem with the entire film is that when Batman and Superman, and this is kind of a spoiler, so if I do this is going to be my thing. If I do this, you know that there's spoilers coming, so ears in. Basically, Batman and Superman when they are at the climax of their fight and they decide to become friends, the thing that makes that happen is something that is so ridiculous and so downright just silly and cliche to hell that I really didn't care for it. I'm going to take him out now. So, yeah, I just feel like that was rushed. It took the moment away. It went literally from 1 minute them hating each other to being really good pals. I mean, the idea was there, and I get what they were going for and all that, and it was kind of cliche and a kind of bit childish, but for a film that was set in a darker world, I don't think that was kind of the way they should have taken it. I will explain more in my spoiler review. So in a nutshell, because this is just going to be a short one before I do the full spoiler review in a couple of days, the film's tagline really should be wasted potential, because that's what it is. It has a lot of good ideas. Some of them come to pass, some of them are really good. A lot of them, no, I feel like it was a little bit rushed. I feel like they could have split it into 2 movies. A lot of focus on setting up Justice League, which parts I loved, parts I hated. And the way they did that, again, was just like, why would you have him do it in that way? I mean, I don't know. Don't get me wrong, I know it sounds like I hate this movie, but I really don't. It was very entertaining. I was entertained all the way through, which is fair enough. I am going to go see it again as well, just to make sure that I wasn't imagining that it was awful. I'm just hoping that they learn their lesson for the Batman standalone film, Wonder Woman and Justice League 1 and 2. I would definitely recommend going to see it in the cinema, though. It has that spectacle. It's definitely worth seeing on the big screen, and it's something that I think will only devalue off the big screen, and I think it's definitely worth a look. I think you will enjoy it. You'll have a good time, but it's not that potential of like, wow. Ratings wise, I haven't really thought about this yet. I'm going to do it out of 10 today. My rating for this one would probably be about a 6.5 out of 10, which is, you know, it's not the worst film ever made, but it's not as good as it. I mean, everyone's expecting it to be a 10. I think that's the problem. It's got a loyal fan base that will stick by it, and I think even the fan base are going to be disappointed. So I'll have a full spoiler review going up in just a couple of days, and in that I'll go into more depths and I'll explain some of these ideas a little bit more. It's been a pleasure as always. I've been Tom Elgie. This has been my Batman vs Superman non-spoiler review. If you like what you see, please click subscribe to see some more. And until next time, see you around.